Hello and welcome to another episode of the Embodied Union podcast. I'm Lindsay.
I'm Charlie.
And today we're going to be talking about Intimacy Mondays.
Intimacy Mondays.
What day is it?
It's Monday. Yeah, it's become a thing.
Really has.
It wasn't always a thing.
It wasn't always a thing.
Why did it become a thing?
I think it became a thing because both of our schedules and both being busy, but also just having to manage, like I'm a father, we have alternating weekends of care, and it just meant that usually it's like a weekend thing, and then we thought, well, there's no interruptions on a Monday morning. And as always, if everyone's thinking about fully sending their business on a Monday morning, what would be the best thing to make it feel the most juiciest?
Yeah, it's so true. It really sets me off into my day and into my business. Well, like I speak about intimacy and I speak about relationship. And when we start our week like that, I'm going into my work from a really embodied place. I'm really living the thing that I talk to women about as being so important, intimacy being like the glue in the relationship. And so when we actually take the time for it, and then I go off and I feel so inspired to then I'm living it. It's true. It feels good. It works.
And I think, there's probably some reservation in that as far as like if you're listening to this and you're in a relationship and you're both very busy, or potentially there's kids and stress and all the things which I've no doubt there is, it's like putting aside that time can seem like, is it another chore to do? But it really gets to be fun. It really gets to be a beautiful practice. And even this morning for us, like we end up having a big conversation around work and around all the things. And then
we started getting really cognitive, and I'm going up into my head, like you're helping me with ideas for my business. And I was like, just so you know, with where I'm at right now, this isn't conducive to our intimacy date that we have planned, because now I'm up here and I'm going very fast.
Yeah.
And so there was a moment where I was like, I guess we're skipping the practice. Like we've kind of brushed over it. And you were like,
that's not my plan.
let's just go set up the station. And so I kind of had, I suppose, a reservation because I'd already kind of exited my body and I was in work mode, but I am also committed to what we have planned. And I was really surprised with how quickly I was able to shift from all of the thinking and the talking and the business to come down into my body and into presence. And I think the setup really helps.
Yeah.
Like we always have really beautiful intimacy dates when we actually put down like a camping mattress. We have a really thin fold-up camping mattress, which is really soft, and we'll put it down outside in the sun, a bit in the shade. We have the music, we've got a little mirror set up, like it's got cushions, it's got the splash blanket, we've got everything that we need.
It's a nest.
It's a nest. And for me, that really helps me like drop in and know that, all right, we're here now. Like I actually have a bit of, I don't know what it is, but sometimes if you kind of make your moves with me in bed,
Yeah.
I notice that I go up into my head. It feels a bit routine, like this is, I should. We're in bed, and like this is just my own stuff, but I have a bit of story. But when it's like in the nest, I don't know, there's something that's really conducive for me to really be present.
I would agree as well. I think the bed is for sleeping, and same with the bedroom. It's like, it's also your work environment.
Which I don't recommend for everybody. If you have the opportunity to not have your bedroom be your workspace, then that is my preference, by the way. But my bedroom is my office.
Yeah, we can shut the door and do the things. But I think too, it's just like knowing that if there is an intimacy practice, we do have something lined up and we do get it set up. It's still taking the time and reading the signs and going with the pace in which it feels right, and getting to sit in yab yum. And like even for me, I've had a massive weekend. I'm physically exhausted, and it's still like I can still show up for it. I can still be present, and we can still sit in yab yum and take a moment with each other and just to connect and just allow what wants to happen.
I think that's a really important point, because there's a part of me when I hear about, okay, we have this regular intimacy date, it's set up every Monday, a thought or a resistance could be like, well, once I don't feel like it to do it, like I feel like I now have to because it's the date. But the way that we approach it is there's no shoulds or agenda. There's nothing that it has to look like. It's allowed to just be yab yum sitting together. Like this week, you're physically exhausted. I'm on my like luteal phase. I'm leading up to bleed. So I have less sexual energy that just feels like it's on the surface. And in the past, it would have been like, I don't feel sexually energized. I don't want to do an intimacy practice. Like I feel like I'm shooting myself into doing this. But in this relationship, it's not about sex. It's actually about just coming together and meeting the moment, meeting what is alive without any pressure, and just let's see what happens. If we just sit naked together and we just do a bit of yum yum and we just like kiss and breathe and get in the sun. If it doesn't want to go anywhere, neither of us are going to take it personally, but it might. And there's just no pressure on it to look like anything. So that's why I think couples should be doing this. It's like schedule regular intimacy, but put any kind of agenda in the bin. Let it be, meet the moment. Be present enough to just meet what's alive.
It's been really good for us, having this, as a practice. I think it just gives us freedom around, spending the week together. And it's like, for me, it's something, like I can speak for men that I think typically look forward to. I have a thing where I feel like men probably struggle to know how to create anticipation in their relationship, but men often do have a lot of anticipation. So setting up something weekly just allows me to just relax, knowing that we're going to have an opportunity to do it no matter how busy we are and how maybe like not separate, but like just how our weeks and days are going, and just being able to come together in those moments just feels really good. Feels like reassuring, and also like it settles something in me to know that we're going to be able to spend quality time together. And even if it's just touches for the Duchess,
That's me, by the way.
And, it's just like having the enjoyment of being able to give my touch to you and you to receive that. And that feels really good. Like even just that.
I think that you should actually do a masterclass where you teach men how to touch their women. Because it sounds like touch, whatever. But
that's what it sounds like for most people.
It's not. It's like, that's the thing. Even if I don't feel sexually energized, I'm so willing just to come and sit with you and like let you touch my body, because I know you're not trying to take me anywhere that my body doesn't want to go. But it's like, because I can trust that, I can actually relax and actually receive just like sensual, loving touch. And when you touch me, you are like, you're reading the room. You have a very good skill in that you're reading the room, you're reading my body, you're very present with where I'm at. But what I'm trying to say is, I think because there's no pressure, I know you're not just trying to like get to my boobs or like go between my legs. You're not trying to do anything like that. I can just allow myself to receive this touch that is just so attuned to how my body likes to be touched. I feel really safe. I think you should do a masterclass on touch.
Well, will you be my patient so I can show?
Yeah.
How would I do that? If you were listening to this and wanted to have an experience of having a touch masterclass, let me know.
Well, I think
Please reach out.
It's like, everyone probably knows what it feels like to have empty touch. Like I can touch you and be really distracted and in my head and not really with it. And then there's a difference between when I touch you and it's like full of presence and I'm aware of your skin and I'm aware of the response that you make. Like last night I massaged you to sleep, sweetheart. But I was just so in the presence of your body and like, as I slow down, he's actually falling deeper to sleep. I think touch can become quite fickle and unconscious the longer we're together, but it's actually such a gift when you're really using it to meet that person's nervous system and reading the room. And I just think that you have a very natural ability with touch.
Thanks, my love.
That's how I would kind of speak into.
Yeah, and I think it helps that I actually enjoy it as well. Like it's something
you're in your own meditative practice, it seems like.
I am. It creates a presence for me. It's a real presence practice for me. Like I enjoy the feeling I have of myself when I'm giving a massage or giving touch that slows me down and has me get to be present.
Well, and I think that speaks to so much. It's like when we're giving our partner a blowjob because we feel like we have to, it's so different to when I am in worship of you and I'm actually doing it for my pleasure. Like I'm so invested in what I'm doing and I'm doing it in a way that is turning me on and feels really good for me. You enjoy that more because like I'm just so there with you. Whereas if I'm just doing something because I think that I should and to tick a box, to
I'm too
appease
sensitive
you.
to that. Oh no.
God, it was how awful.
I would run.
Well, it's just like, where are you? Like, that's the thing. Someone can be physically with you, you're with me physically, but I can't feel your heart, or I can just tell you're distracted or you're thinking about something. You might even be making eye contact, but it's like, you're not here. And like, I can feel that too. I think a lot of women can feel that. When I notice you're distracted, I then go into my head and it's like the chicken or the egg. I'm like, I don't know who started this, but like one of us wasn't present and now we're both not present. And like, can we just stop?
Yeah.
But luckily, because we're both such a stand for intimacy being amazing, if it's feeling like that, we'll just stop. We're not going to try and keep going. Like, I love it when you call out my no before I even call it out. You're like, you're not here. Let's just do something different. And I'm like, really? You just know that?
Yeah,
You're
well,
not taking it personally?
yeah, I even noticed that. Not that there was not a presence piece this morning, but it's just
I was very available this morning.
knowing when to change gears or knowing when to stop or change something or introduce something or do something different. I feel like, that's the subtle, there's an art to that as well, as knowing that, we don't want to continue to go in one direction for not that it's too long, but just knowing when the part of the intimacy kind of feels more complete and how to move it forward or even take a step back, and having the trust in that as well when we're in our practice together or in intimacy together.
Yeah, I never feel like you're chasing your own orgasm, if you know what I mean. Like I feel like that can happen often when the agenda is to come.
Yeah.
Then it's just like, let's just keep going with this thing that we know that works, da 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 da. And it's just like, yeah, there's almost like a disconnection from what's happening here right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the
And
goal
that's interesting.
orientation?
Do you feel like, have you ever, like my experience of you is you've never seemed like you're attached to coming or chasing the orgasm for yourself. Like, but I'm sure you must have had that experience because...
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think when I was a lot younger, for sure. But it's like, and I'm sure the guys that are listening to this, I know that you do listen, is that once you orgasm, it's kind of like it's really hard to stay present after. Like you can and continue to like work with your partner or keep the intensity there or whatever it might be, but to orgasm really does create the ending. So it's like, do I really want this to end? So I mean, I'm not someone that's ever had to really manage premature ejaculation or the inability to stay hard or maintain an erection or anything like that. So I know for a lot of men that is a contentious point of feeling like they have to perform, and that's the anxiety prior to sex. And I know women have it too, as far as like being ready and being wet enough or being aroused enough and all those things. Like, geez, I wish I could help more couples put all that in the bin and learn how to connect with each other. That just feels so good, that being aroused is just a byproduct of how good it already is. Like that's what the practice gets to be. Like this morning, it's just sitting in Yab Yum and connecting. It's so delicious. Like it so gets to be something good.
It's really the pressure piece for me, like there just is no pressure. And in past relationships, it wasn't even really that my partners were pressuring me. I was pressuring me. Like I just put so much pressure on myself, which means if I'm pressuring myself, I'm in my head. If I'm in my head, I'm not actually even available for what we're doing. We might as well stop. But I had so much story around what it meant to be a good partner and what I thought I had to do to be chosen and in connection and like all these ways that we kind of should ourselves and get in our head actually cock block us from having the experience that we say we want to have. And I always know like our best intimacy happens when I am just fully present, you know, when I'm just there and available. Yeah, the presence piece is really important. And there's so many things that take us out of presence, you know, like stress or overwhelm or sickness. It's like, yeah, if you're not present, I just wouldn't even bother. Don't even bother.
And I guess that's the piece, right? Like an intimacy practice with your partner that's routine, or that you decide on, whether it's a Monday morning like what we do, or it's a Sunday morning or afternoon, like just whenever it is coming together with the willingness to bring yourself fully, and no agenda, no pressure, like for either of you around the pressure. Like that is something that I really had to learn over the last couple of decades, is around putting any kind of pressure on my partner for intimacy.
Bad idea.
I've not done that, you know,
Ever?
in this relationship.
Oh no, with me you have not.
It's just not something that I'm willing to do, because I know that it doesn't work. It just absolutely doesn't work. It's no different from criticizing your partner or showing contempt or whatever it might be. Like put downs don't work. It seems so obvious, and yet so many people have this in their relationship where they fight or they have conflict, and they make the conflict even worse by name calling or yelling or whatever it is. And it's just all the things that get in the way of relationship. And I know we've talked about that a lot.
And we'll talk about it more.
But, you know, it's around like really having this invitation conversation around like weekly practice, or setting aside the time for intimacy.
And if you think you're too busy, or you got too much going on, or you got too many kids, or whatever it is, like we've heard every excuse in the world, you can actually still make it happen.
Yep.
You know, we've seen couples who have multiple children just do what they need to do to make the time. Like once a week, there's a way. There's a way for you to have 2 hours together. There is. Like you might have to think outside the box and actually ask for help, which some people don't want to do. But it's like you have to prioritize the relationship and the intimacy, because that ripples out and like makes you a better mother and a better friend and a better colleague and a better boss and a better everything. It's just, I notice when the couples who make the time for intimacy, no matter what is going on, they just move through the world differently. They can ride the ups and downs of life together with hearts more open. You just have more tolerance for each other. It's just, and we can get so freaking complacent.
Oh God. Yeah.
And it happens. It does. It happens. We're human, but complacency needs to go in the bin. And I want you to make an agreement and put it on the fridge. Stick it on the fridge. When is your intimacy date this week? You're listening to this right now. When's your intimacy date? Go and have that conversation. Make that commitment. And then you can thank us later.
And if you don't know how and you don't know what to do, we have play shops and we have little dates for people that want to set something up or want to learn how. Definitely reach out to us. We would love to support every couple having an amazing relationship and having intimacy that works for both. So
I think that's pretty much covering Intimacy Mondays. Thank you, my beautiful man.
Thank you, sweetheart. If you want to contact either of us, I am
Charlie S. Hannah. I am Charlie S. Hannah on Instagram.
I'm Lindsay B.
And we've got the Embodied Union account that doesn't get too much love, but you can find us in either of any of those places.
All right.
Thank you, sweetheart.
Love you, Peter.